Hey guys, so welcome back to part 3 of my makeup collection series. Today we are going to be getting into concealers. If you guys missed part 1 and 2, I will have them linked down below. Those guys are primers and foundations. But I hope you guys all enjoy part 3 and let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm just going to start pulling. So first up, I'm going to go ahead and talk about one of my favorites that I have in my collection. This is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealers. It has the white top to them. I have 2 shades. I have Fair Warm and Fair Beige. I use these for brightening and creating more coverage. The Fair Warm shade is what I use to brighten more, and the Fair Beige is what I use to create more coverage. Say that like I put a foundation on and there's still a little bit of spots seeking through. This shade matches almost all of my foundations, and I just put this on top of where I want to build more coverage, and it definitely does help with that. So I really love this guy for that, and I love creating more coverage with it, and it's so beautiful. And then this guy right here is beautiful for creating more brightness and glowiness underneath the eyes, and in my opinion, these are way better than the original 16-hour camo concealers. Okay, next up we have the Kylie Cosmetics The Skin Concealer, and this is in the shade Shell. This guy is okay. It's not one of my favorites. This guy is like $18, I believe. But this guy is really more on the natural side. It's not anything that's going to cover much. It's going to cover a tad, like maybe a little bit of your redness, but it's nothing like mind-blowing. It's honestly not worth the price point. I like this, so I'm going to finish it up, but in all honesty, I probably wouldn't purchase it again. Alright, next up I have the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Magic Concealer. And I have this in the shade C2. This guy is so beautiful. I love using this. Ooh, am I starting to dry out? Ooh, I better not be. But this is the doe foot on it. It has a little hole in the center of it. I don't know what it reminds me of, but I love this concealer. It's very, very nice. I love the doe foot just for the fact that you can get up into this area really easily and up in here very easily, and you can just easily brighten the under eye and create coverage, and I love that about this. This guy isn't too expensive either, and I love the packaging of his concealer. Okay, next up I have the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Full Coverage Concealer, and this is in the shade Fair Neutral. This is a very, very beautiful concealer. I actually found this concealer at TJ Maxx. It was on clearance for $6, and I was like, holy crap, I gotta try this. I've heard such good things about this concealer, so I tried it, and I actually really, really love it. It has a small doe foot on it to get in those little crivets under your eyes, and just create a beautiful look to the skin. And it's not a lumi feel, it's not a matte feel, it's like in the middle, and it really does help cover imperfections. Alright, next up I have the Wet n Wild MegaLast Incognito concealer, and this is in the shade Fair. I love this concealer. This concealer is so beautiful, so brightening under the eyes, and I love putting this under my eyes to create a beautiful brightening effect look, and it just blurs everything. You can't see one vein under your eye, you can't see the bags in your eyes, you can't see anything. So I really enjoy this mascara, this concealer. It is so, so good, and it's very affordable. Next up I have the Benefit Boi-ing Cakeless Concealer, and this is in the shade number 1. This is so cute. I love the packaging of this. It's like a little pencil eraser. I think it's so cute. And this is the doe foot right here. I don't really care for the doe foot all that much, but honestly, it's more like, it's like a medium size one. It's not like the big ones that you see or the small ones that you see. It's like in the middle. But this is a beautiful, 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 beautiful concealer, and you can build it up to how you want it. I wouldn't say like one coat of this is like full coverage. It's more like medium, but you can definitely build this to how you want it, and I love it. Alright, next up I have the e.l.f. This is the Flawless Brightening Concealer. It's one of those pens that you press this and it comes out of the little brush. This is in the shade Fair 10C. So you click this little button and it comes up into this little brush right here, and you can apply it. This one is on the more natural side. You can definitely apply this over like a skin tint or a tinted moisturizer for more of a natural effect. I do like to use this to cover up some redness a little bit, because it does help a little bit with redness. It doesn't take it all away, but it helps a little bit. And it does take a lot of like the inflammation away. So I like using this for that, and this guy is very, very, very affordable, just like how e.l.f. always is, so I highly recommend. Okay, next up we have my favorite concealer of all time. This guy is actually empty, so I actually need to go get another one, but this is the Morphe Fluidity Full Coverage Concealer in the shade C145. This guy is by far my favorite concealer I've ever tried, but here's the doe foot right here. The shade that I have is more like a pinky undertone concealer. I like to have this option because my skin is a little bit more on the pinky side, so I can use this as like my base, and then I can go over on top with a foundation, and it just creates a beautiful look to the skin, and I love using this. It has a little bit left, but not a lot. I'm basically gonna have to scrape the sides to get product out, but I highly, highly, highly recommend this. Okay, next up I have the I Am Magic Concealer from Juvia's Place, and I have it in the shade 23. This guy has the big doe foot on it. This is what it looks like. Very, very big and thick. This concealer is really, really nice. I like using this to create coverage. This guy isn't really much for brightening, but it does a really good job with building coverage. It does brighten a tad, not too much. So if you don't like a brightened under eye, which I know a lot of people don't, I know a lot of people like their foundation and their under eyes to be the same color, or like their concealer to be the same color, then this might be a good one for you, because this one really doesn't brighten all that much. It only brightens like a little bit, but this is really, really good and so affordable. Next up I have the Colourpop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer, and this is in the shade Fair 10N. And this guy is a really, really good option for more of a natural makeup look. Say if you wanted to just be able to pop on a concealer to touch up the under eyes and just walk out the door, this is what you want for that. So here is the doe foot right here. It's very, very cute. I love how small it is. You can get into small little areas. The coverage of this concealer is not full coverage or medium. It is more of a light to sheer coverage, and it does not really do much. That's why I'm saying if you want more of like a walk out the door concealer, this is one of those. And it's actually a really good option, because I know with the tinted moisturizer, this is a really, really good pair with. Okay, next up I have the mini size of the NARS. This is their creamy concealer, I think, and I have it in the shade Light 2 Vanilla, and I love the doe foot on this. Very, very small. You can get into the little crevice of your eyes, and I really like this. I think I'm going to continue to purchase this one, because I am not going to pay that much money for a concealer that is a light coverage concealer. This one is more like, say, the Colourpop one. This one basically does the same thing as that one. It is very light to sheer coverage, and I actually like it for covering up redness. It does a little bit better of a job of covering like blemishes than the Colourpop one. But this guy right here is $13. I don't know how much the full size is, but you get a good size. You get a good amount in here for $13. So I'm gonna continue to use it. Okay, next up I have from LA Girl. This is their Pro Conceal the HD High Definition Concealer. I've used this once and it still has the paper on it. I'll get it off later. But this is in the shade Porcelain. I've used this like one time since I got it, and I still need to use it some more. So, okay, next we have Tarte. This is their Double D Beauty Shape Tape Contour Concealer, and I have this in the shade 12 in Fair Neutral. When I first tried this, or first couple tries of this, I was like, well, I'm really not into it. It's not really worth the hype. But it has definitely grown on me, and I do enjoy this a lot. It's very, very pretty on the skin. Creates beautiful coverage under the eyes. And it has a nice little fragrance to the concealer. I also have the glowy one, the glow wand. I actually have that one not with me, but I do have that one, and that one is more on the natural side. So if you want something a little bit more natural, go get the glowy one, because that one's actually really, really nice. But if you want something with coverage, here you go. And then last but not least for concealer, I have the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Multi-Use Concealer, and this is in the shade 110 Fair. And I love this. This is my first guy right here. I was kind of behind on makeup as I was younger. I didn't try all the stuff out, and I remember so many kids in high school use this, and I was kind of hesitant on it because of the sponge up here. It is very, very nasty. It gets very nasty because that is your source of application, and I wasn't a real big fan on it. But I tried it anyways, and trying to get past this. That's why I don't use it all the time, because of that sponge up there that's disgusting. But yeah, besides that, I really, really enjoy this. Alright guys, thank you guys so much for watching part 3 of my makeup series. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in part 4.